Let's talk about concerns about traffic. Like, what would you say to people who are worried about congestion?
Well, that's not an issue where we are. As a matter of fact, we hire professional engineers to do traffic studies who look farther down the road than you or I are going to be around to try and analyze what the traffic flow will be at some point in the future, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So these factors are all taken into consideration before we get any approval to develop any properties.
So now what about like access, like we talked earlier about convenience stores and access to those services that people need, fairly close by?
Well, that's one of the things that we're pushing for right now with the county. Right now, if you live in any of our communities in Loon Point or Meekarm, you have to literally travel about 12 or 14 kilometers to get a loaf of bread. So we would like to be able to get permission to put a convenience store in our community. That will also cut down on traffic, because right now everybody that lives there, and 98% of the homes there, people live full time. So they have to drive to get these services, milk, bread, whatever, and that's a trip to the store. So if we had an outlet for our own conveniences, that would also cut down on traffic from ourselves to where the services are available now.
So, what about people that say, Bruce, that sounds great, but it sounds like it's just going to be another strip mall?
No. What we're looking for is we're looking to create community-based conveniences. For example, we're asking the county for permission to develop what we call mixed-use properties. That means, if, for example, there's not going to be enough business in our communities for a full-time convenience store. There's just not enough people living there. Now, if we had a convenience store, our plan is to allow people to live there, have their home there, and in one end of the home, maybe the front of the home, they have a convenience store. So they kill two birds with one stone. They have the business and they have their home all in one site. So we call that mixed use.
Okay.
So that's what we're trying to create, because we know there's not enough business to support a full-time convenience store.
We talked about like the kind of young professionals, as well as retirees that are being drawn into the community, but the young professionals in particular is what I'm interested in. And given that a lot of young professionals now, especially since COVID, are working from home more and more, can we talk about how that would affect traffic density?
Well, everything has changed since COVID. When we first started developing in the Long Lake area, it was supposed to be a place for cottages. But shortly after people started buying there and seeing how close it was to everything, like the city, whatever, all of a sudden people started saying, well, rather than build a cottage, why don't we just build a cottage-style home? And that's what happened. And then after COVID, especially, like a lot of people, we have two high-speed internet providers in our community. And a lot of people started working from home. So now a lot of these younger folks, and all folks, no matter what their ages, if they're not retired, of course, but if they're still working, it's a huge amount of people that live there and work there. They work from home because of the internet.
And that's probably a big bonus for them on top of that, because they have a wonderful working environment.
Well, and that's another thing. Like if we had conveniences, there's no reason for people to have to leave the community.